Doctor, one very quick question before finishing this important interview. What is, in your opinion, what is the impact that these elections will have for the region and for the international arena?
Well, very important, because Venezuela is a country which is extremely important. I am not flattering my Venezuelan friends. I am just making a geopolitical statement. Venezuela is a major reserve of oil in the world. Is a great deposits of gold and all kind of minerals, water, whatever. It's a country enormously endowed with natural resources of all sorts. In addition, is very close to the United States. This is something which is not a minor question. Just think that a tanker, an oil tanker coming from Saudi Arabia takes approximately 40 days of very difficult navigation to reach Houston, in which they have to go and transfer the oil. It takes only 4 days going from Venezuela to Houston. For the U.S., then Venezuela is extremely important in a moment in which there is this race to the natural resources, because people who before did not go to get oil or copper or lithium or whatever, or there are especially two big countries like China and India. If you add all of those countries, China and India are about 3 billion people in the world, almost 40% of the world population. And that is something which is extremely worrisome for the US. And this is why the general of the Southern Command, Laura Richardson, has said repeatedly that a sign of a good policy in our countries, I mean the countries in Latin America, should be to keep Chinese, Russians and Iranians out of the region. The problem is that those are countries which have a special interest in the natural resources we have in Latin America, and therefore the importance for the US to get these competitors out of this region, out of the hemisphere, as they call, is of the uttermost important, and will do whatever is necessary to prevail in that sense. The problem is that economic relations may be running in an opposite direction of what the State Department or the White House think, and therefore countries like, I don't know, take the case of Brazil or Chile. Chile may be very, very loyal in general to the orientations of the White House, but China is the first commercial partner of Chile. So President Boric is torn apart between loyalty to the guidelines of the State Department or the Southern Command, on the other hand, the stark realities of economics by which China is the main buyer of Chilean natural resources. And that is the reason why it is so important, the election here in Venezuela, because if the Bolivarian revolution is supported once again by the people, then the chances of going forward in the process of supranational integration, in the process of the strengthening of UNASUR and CELAC, will receive a very, very significant and positive impact, something that it is very, very much needed for two reasons, and I'm sorry if I am extending too much this question. We need a Latin America united, on the one hand, to stop the imperialist process in the region, the imperialist influence in our countries in terms of politics, economics, culture, and so on. But at the same time, we need a united Latin America to be able to negotiate the position of our region, Latin America and the Caribbean, I should always say, right, in a multilateral, in a multipolar world in which we should negotiate our insertion, and the best way to do it is Latin America and the Caribbean are together and not on an individual basis, because if you have to negotiate on an individual basis with China, with India, on Russia, your power, negotiation power is quite much reduced. But if you can go as with a Latin American united through schemes like CELAC or Mercosur or UNASUR or whatever, then you have chances to get much more in national and international autonomy. And this is what we need. Self-determination is crucial in this moment, and if we are united, our self-determination will be more likely to be established.